There's something strange going on in the Moistverse, but I haven't seen anybody talk about it yet. So here I am to talk about it with my extremely shiny fucking head. So in this video, we are going to try to get down to the bottom of who is behind the Moistverse. We're gonna start off with the video called The Internet Found My Brother. Now, this video, pretty basic. It's just talking about this guy who wears white t-shirts. He's very similar to Moist Critical or Charlie, whichever one you know him by, maybe Penguin Z0? Penguin Zero. I'll call him that. No, I'm gonna call him Charlie for the rest of the video. And with this, he basically just found this guy, Chalolu, something like that, and he says similar things to Charlie. He does the cheer pretty good. I liked his cheer a lot, actually. Woo! Yeah, baby! I think it's pretty good. But then a couple months later, about 3 months later, we came onto this video called The Family I Never Knew I Had. It goes through a couple more of the Charlies doing their cheers. You have this guy again. You have a couple more people. There were quite a few in the year of 2021. It was a pretty crazy year for the Moistverse. And then there was one more on December 2nd of 2021, saying that it was out of control, where he goes through a lot more of the cheers. There are quite a few more, but there was always the question on the back of my mind, how did this start? And that's the question I'm going to be answering today. About 2 days after that, you then have the Moist Critical as a D&D party Moistverse. And it's very hard to tell if the actual Charlie was here, but I believe this is the actual Charlie. Maybe it's this guy. So this guy was definitely the main Charlie, and then you have Charlie and Charlie over here, and they all played D&D together. It was a lot of fun. Very fun party, most likely. I don't know. I wasn't there. My name isn't Charlie. And then on January 2nd of 2022, we got a video titled Goodbye Moistverse. And this video was very sad. I very much liked seeing the Moistverse come to life, but this signaled the end of the Moistverse. And I still hadn't found out who was behind it all, where all these Charlies had come from, what they were all doing, just popping up left and right. Even Emeru was considered Charlie. And this was crazy. It was going so far, I couldn't understand how. Until the next video. After the Goodbye Moistverse video, there was another 4 videos added onto the Moistverse, which threw me off, but gave me the next step, the next eye-opening revelation to who the mastermind of the Moistverse was. It was Drew. So there are a few reasons that I believe this. We have Charlie, and Charlie, and Drew Gooden, he just doesn't seem to fit in anywhere. It doesn't make a lot of sense for him to be there, and honestly, it's kind of weird that he's just there. Even he seems kind of awkward. He seems very low energy in all of his appearances on his phone. He's just kind of chilling, making sure everything goes smoothly, if you know what I mean. I was kind of looking into it, seeing why Drew Gooden would have been here with the Charlies, and I found the explanation that some random guy named FlexTapeBoy43 could give was that just because they're both commentary channels and that they live in Florida. Which, I mean, yes, they are both commentary channels, and yes, they have both been confirmed to live in Florida, but that could only strengthen the theory. So if you go back to the start of the Moist Machine video, posted on February 14th of 2022 by Joel Harver, you'll notice that they require this chip before they can actually move. Otherwise, they just sit in the closet, not doing anything, just standing there with their heads down. But in this video, they do each gain sentience. And this has confirmed our protagonist Charlie to be a robot as well. Protagonist? The first Charlie to be a robot as well, and the only one not a robot in this video is Drew Gooden. Coincidence? No. Let me show you more. So in this next video, we have all of them taking spicy chips, almost as if they're doing a benchmark, making sure everything's good with the spice level, making sure everything is good with the ice cream, and that their lactose intolerance doesn't come up, because he wants them to be the best robots possible. And he's just kind of sitting over here in the background saying he can't really tell who's talking unless he's watching them, which makes sense as they all sound very similar, but that's probably what he was going for. He was just letting them know that this was a successful trial. However, when I got to the next video, it almost seemed like there was no hope. I couldn't find Drew anywhere. He had to be there. It had only been 2 days since the last video. He had to be there to make sure everything was running smoothly still. This was AI. These guys are the purest form of AI. He created 5 human beings and named them all Charlie for some reason, but nonetheless he created 5 human beings. It's crazy. So he would obviously want to make sure they do all function correctly, but it doesn't actually show him. However, I did manage to find 100% proof that he was there. So if you go through the video, he is not in any of these shots. Basically, they're just working on their calibration, making sure they can actually shoot basketballs. Some of the Charlies are doing a lot better than others. Guess some of their AI is just a lot better or something. But he's not in this video at all, which made me think maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe Drew Gooden wasn't the cause of all of this. Maybe Drew Gooden didn't make these people. Maybe these are just real people and they're just playing a joke. However, I was able to confirm the existence of Drew Gooden in this video. If you use the handy dandy shortcut called Control F, you're actually able to find any words on the page, or in this case, people, or more specifically, Drew. And so, not being able to find Drew Gooden in the video, I tried the shortcut, press Control F, typed in Drew, and it tells me that there are 2 Drews here. Now, why would it say that? Unless there were. Now, obviously, we have this one, which is highlighted yellow, but nowhere else on this page is a second Drew. You can scroll for as long as you need, and it actually shows on the scroll bar where all the Drews are. And it only found 1. But if you Control F and you type Drew, then it pulls up 2. Obviously, some people are gonna think maybe it's counting the Drew that you typed. But no, if you type anything else, it says 0 out of 0. Like if you just type random gibberish, it'll say 0. But Drew pulls up 2. So why would that be unless he's in the video? Checkmate, Drew Gooden, trying to keep it down on the low. It's confirmed he was found in this video. I typed Drew in a Control F bar and it told me there were 2, despite the fact that there was only 1. So the other one had to have been in the video. And then last but not least, going through the last video of the entire series, called When Your Friends Steal Your Entire Personality, you have Charlie lecturing Charlie, and Charlie, and for the longest time I didn't think Drew was in this video either, but like before, this was only 2 days after the fact, and I feel like they would still be going through the testing phase. So with that, I scoured this video looking for Drew, and I did eventually find him. In this shot, you have Charlie, and Charlie all just sitting on the couch watching a video while Charlie lectures them about stealing identities. But throughout the entire video, you don't really see Drew. However, if you go to exactly 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and when it's zoomed in on these 2 Charlies, there's somebody in the background sitting there with shadow cast over their face, all menacingly like, is this Drew? Yes. Yes, it is. Now, how did I come to this conclusion? So, I thought it was kind of weird that Charlies just kept popping up left and right, and I thought, where are they all coming from? Why are they all in Florida? Who would have the resources and knowledge to pull something like this off? Drew. Now I know what you're thinking. Just because he lives in Florida and is in the Moistverse videos, then he's the creator of all the Charlies? It does sound a bit far-fetched. However, if you take into account all the information Drew gave us in the past in his older videos, it becomes a bit less far-fetched. Let me get into that. In his older videos, Drew admits to be the CEO and founder of YouTube.
Hello everybody, welcome back to youtube.com. This is of course a website that I created.
And so this means that Drew could very well be sitting on the throne of YouTube. Susan? No. Drew is the top of YouTube. He also claimed to be the only creator on the site, which is, I will admit, a little bit absurd, but that could have been what he was in the process of doing. He could have been turning all of these other YouTubers into his own form of AI. And now he just got Charlie. Charlie is Drew's puppet. Confirmed. Thank you so much for watching, if you made it this far anyway. I'm gonna apologize because I'm not gonna pause my printer while I do this outro, so it's probably gonna be loud. If you made it this far, thank you so much. This is the dumbest thing. This is the dumbest video I've ever made. But I love it. It's great. I had a lot of fun with it. Anyways, I really just want Charlie to see this. Charlie and Drew. If anybody else watches this, you can leave a comment, like, subscribe, do your thing, whatever you want. I don't care. I just hope Charlie and Drew watch this. That's all I really want out of this. So if you are named Charlie or Drew, even if you're not the Charlie or Drew I'm referring to in the video, thank you specifically for watching. I don't really know how to end this. So Bye.